Trace, good afternoon. That each White House looks differently on the news media landscape, liking some news organizations better than others, is a routine part of the business of politics and government in the nation's capital. But one would have to look back decades to find an example of a president and his aides especially focused on one news organization in particular. In singling out Fox News, the top media strategist at the White House accused the channel of waging a, quote, war on President Obama.
The reality of it is that Fox News often operates almost as either the research arm or the communications arm of the Republican Party.
The White House's targeting of Fox News has escalated beyond the occasional jab from the podium.
I have occasion to watch Fox every now and again.
Or the all-in-good fun jibes of black tie events like the White House Correspondents Association dinner.
Most of you covered me. All of you voted for me. Apologies to the Fox table. Where are they?
Now a White House blog site paid for their money describes how, quote, Fox lies. Behind the scenes, the White House since last August has barred Fox News Sunday from getting any administration officials as guests. And when President Obama himself appeared on an unprecedented 5 Sunday talk shows on one morning last month, he too declined to appear on Fox News Sunday. On that day, anchor Chris Wallace instead interviewed 3 CEOs about job creation in the sluggish economy. Shortly thereafter, an informal meeting over coffee was held in New York between the Fox News chairman and CEO Roger Ailes and top Obama political advisor David Axelrod.
And if that was an attempt at détente, Anita Dunn's quotes are going to, shall we say, blow up any peace talks.
Will appear on Fox News again, let's say this year.
Obviously, he'll go on Fox because he engages with ideological opponents, and he has done that before. He will do it again. I can't give you a date. Can't give you dates for anybody else right now.
What Dunn chose not to mention is that several days earlier, one of her own aides formally notified Fox News that none of the news programs that had requested interviews with the president, including America's Newsroom with Bill Hemmer and Megyn Kelly, Special Report with Bret Baier, or Fox News Sunday with Chris Wallace, would receive one anytime this year. This order to freeze out a leading news organization is similar to those that President Nixon infamously directed at the New York Times. And in this case, too, the chief executive appears keenly attuned.
I've got one television station that is entirely devoted to attacking my administration. I mean, you know, that's a pretty...
I assume you're talking about Fox.
Well, that's a pretty big megaphone.
In a typical 24-hour stretch, Fox News broadcasts a full day's worth of straight news coverage, followed in the evening by a series of opinion shows, some of which are occasionally harsh in their criticism of Mr. Obama.
Stand up!
And which other times take the opposite point of view. It is also a fact that Fox News at all times of the day is the highest-rated cable news channel, regularly outpacing its competitors in both total viewership and the coveted 18 to 49 demographic category by margins of greater than 2 to 1. Moreover, recent surveys by the Pew Charitable Trust and other polling groups have found Fox News' audience to have the greatest balance of conservatives, liberals, and independents of all 3 major cable news channels. But it wasn't on the basis of numbers alone that analysts and veterans of past White Houses warned this one against overt displays of favoritism or outright confrontation with the news media.
It's a very risky strategy, Wolf. It's not one that I would advocate. If you're going to get very personal and against the media, you're going to find that the animosities are just going to deepen, and you're going to find that you sort of almost draw viewers and readers to the people you're attacking. You build them up in some ways. You give them stature.
Going after a news organization, in my experience, is always a loser. They have a big audience, and Fox has an audience, not just conservatives. They've got liberals and moderates who watch too. They've got Obama supporters who are watching. So it's a temptation for politicians, but it needs to be resisted.
Obama's only been a boon to their ratings, and I don't understand how this kind of escalation of rhetoric and kind of taking them on one-on-one would do anything other than escalate their ratings even more.
Asked to comment on Anita Dunn's remarks, Fox News senior vice president Michael Clemente released a statement that said, in part, and I quote, "It's astounding the White House cannot distinguish between news and opinion programming. It seems self-serving on their part," end quote. Trace?
James Rosen live for us in D.C. across from the Capitol. James, thank you.